Hello everyone, and today in this video I'll be talking about how business schools think about prospective candidates. So imagine you are in India, and when I was there back in India, I was always thinking about this thing. How does US business schools think about their candidates and how do they shortlist their candidates? And I always used to wonder whether is it all about GMAT score or whether it is about your background or it is your fit. So in this video I'll be talking about some of those things that I think business schools think about it. It's because I'm in a US business schools, and I think how things work a little bit. I understand a little bit, but whatever I'm going to talk about in this video are just my own personal views, and they may be wrong or they may be right. So just take it with a pinch of salt. So what I think is, you have to understand who is selecting you as a prospective student in a business school. So let's say, for example, you apply to some XYZ business school. Who is that person who is looking at your profile and who is shortlisting you and then taking your interview and then finally selecting you? Who is that person? That person is nothing but career services team. So during the summer vacations and during the times when let's say August, September, October, November, December, January, February, the career services team excuse me, the career services team in a business school will have, let's say, 10 people, and the job of these 10 people is to help MBA students who are in their first year to get an internship. So they will help them prepare their resumes, they will help them prepare for the interviews, they'll help them in any way that is possible for new students to get a job. And these same people who are in career services, they will also look at the resumes and the essays and the stories of prospective students whom they will be shortlisting, and these are the same people who will conduct their interviews. And you will now ask, why is it like this? It's because the career services team, once they have done their job, let's say by November excuse me, in December you have winter vacations. So in December they are generally free because all the students are not having any classes. So career services team is generally free in December, and that's probably the reason why they are given this responsibility that you, since you are free right now, also identify students who will be good for the next year's program. Also, once the students come to an MBA program, what is the main reason why someone is coming to an MBA program? To get a good job. And to get a good job, where will he go? He will only go to the career services team. And career services team will have to help that candidate get a good job, the kind of job he wants. So these people in career services team, they exactly know what kind of companies come to the business school, what kind of companies hire, what these companies are looking for, because they are constantly in touch with those managers from companies who come there every year for hiring. So first of all, you have to understand who is shortlisting your resume and your essay. It is the career services team person who has two responsibilities. One is he identifies and shortlists and takes interviews for the students who will be joining the program next year, and he is also responsible for helping the present students get internships and jobs. So these are the two things. So this guy knows everything about the companies who are coming in this college and whether he can help you get the job that you want. That is number one. Now, how will this guy think when he reads your resume, when he reads your essay? How will he think? And when he also goes through your GMAT score, the first thing that he will think is whether I will be able to get him the job or internship or not. Because if he cannot get you the job or internship that you want from the college, then at the end of your MBA you will be disappointed, or either you will be always running behind the career services team, always asking, get me a job, get me a job, get me a job, get me a job, and they don't want that situation. They want their life to be easy. They also want to have a good ranking for the business school, and the good ranking will be there when they have good jobs for the students. Okay, so this is the lens with which he will look. Now let's say I am career services team and I go and I go through a resume and the essay. I find a person who writes, who has, let's say, an imaginary person who has been from IIT Bombay. He's a BTech. After that, he has, let's say, worked in McKinsey in India for last 4 years. And now this guy only has a GMAT score of, let's say, 680, and he is applying to my college. And he has written that after my MBA, I want to get into, let's say, Google or Microsoft in, let's say, product management. And I will go through his resume and his essay. He writes like this: so I have worked in McKinsey for last 3 to 4 years, where I was dealing with technology things. I was helping clients understand technology and implement technological solutions. The moment I read this, I see that this is a perfect candidate, and Google would definitely want such a candidate because he has already worked in McKinsey. He has been from IIT, and he has already have experience in client handling, and he's in McKinsey. In McKinsey, getting into McKinsey is very difficult. So he is already a good. If McKinsey has taken him in India, it means he's a good candidate. So I will be very, 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 tension free, worry free in taking this candidate, because I don't have to worry about jobs for this guy, because he can definitely easily get a job. And on top of that, he will also help 2 or 3 other students from the class to get them good jobs as well. So in this perspective, GMAT score is not that important. GMAT score is just a hygiene factor. You just have to clear one particular level of GMAT. After that, you will probably not worry too much about the GMAT. Another thing that happens is, since he is from McKinsey, and a lot of students who come to MBA programs want to join McKinsey after their MBA. So another thing that I will think is, if I hire this guy for the MBA program, he will definitely be able to help his fellow batchmates to understand how McKinsey does hiring. He will also be able to help people prepare for McKinsey, and this is a win-win, not just for this guy but for others as well. So this is a very important candidate for me. Okay, that is number one. Number two is, some students, some colleges talk about fit. So what do you mean by fit? So for example, University of Arizona, Eller Business School, they are very famous for their Masters in Information Systems program. So they have this MBA program and they have this MIS program as well clubbed into it, and they are very famous program for information systems. So if someone wants to get into, let's say, Microsoft as a product manager, or let's say any tech company as a product manager, and he writes that in the essay that I want to be in the tech sector, and I have already worked in the tech sector before coming to the MBA, Eller Business School will think that he is a low risk candidate because our school is known for tech, and he also wants to get into tech, so it's easier for me to place him into tech, because every year Microsoft, Amazon and other companies come here to hire tech students, and I already know managers over there, so he can easily get a job over there. So that is one part of it. So basically, my school is famous for some particular area, and this guy wants to get into the area. That's the reason why he's coming here. Okay. Another thing that people think about is this, that generally in MBA program, what happens is, you are made into a team of 5 or 6 students. So there'll be one team of 5 to 6 students, and you'll be given an assignment for a subject, and you all have to do it and submit as one assignment. So that's a big challenge, because you have to coordinate when everybody will get together, have a meeting. You have to distribute work. One of the person will not work, other person will work. So there'll be a lot of clashes in the team, and that's how you learn teamwork. So another thing that they think about a person is whether this person be a good team member. So if they think that you'll be a good team member, they will want to hire you, because you might not be aware of this, but in every MBA program, be in any school in US, every year in the first year, there are a lot of issues that happen because of these teams. There are a lot of people who are not happy with their teams. They go and complain to their career services, they go and complain to the directors of the program that I am not happy with this guy, I'm not happy with that guy, please change my team, please do this, please do that. So they don't want to hear this issue. So they want person who is good in teams. They also want person who is really ready to do hard work and who is a bit sincere, who takes his responsibilities as sincerely as possible. So this is another thing that they will think about it. And another thing that they think is, so imagine a classroom of 50 people and there's a professor teaching. So when you are paying such high fees for an MBA program, you want to have a very good experience. And good experience is just not about professor. It's also about your classmates. So another thing that career services person will think is whether hiring this guy in my next year's batch will add on to my class discussions. So if I have been, let's say, in a steel company for last 6 years, I know a lot about operations, I know a lot about supply chain. So whenever a professor is discussing some important topic, I will be asking questions based on my experience. I'll be contributing to the class discussions, and that's how class becomes more interesting. If you have an MBA program where everybody is just a fresher who is just after his, let's say, undergrad, he has just joined the MBA program, that MBA program will be very boring, because there's no discussion, there is no, and it will be just like a class. Just like in MBA programs are not like this. MBA program is all about discussions, and professors treat you with respect. They value your inputs respectfully. MBA programs are not like undergrad. So that's the reason why they want someone with at least 3 to 4 years of experience, so that you can understand things and you can contribute in the class. Okay, so these are some of the areas by which a business school thinks when looking at your profiles. Sometimes what happens is you might have a very good GMAT. Let's say you have a GMAT of 750. Let's say you are working in Google, and let's say you have all the good criterias, but you are not selected for an MBA school. What happens in those situations is, if you are applying, let's say in third round or a second round, the business school has already selected candidates similar to you. For example, if I have already taken 5 guys who are from IIT, who are from India, and who have already working in technical sector, let's say IT sector, and they also again want to get into IT sector after the MBA. So I've already taken 5 people. No matter how good your profile is, I will not hire you, because I want to create a batch in which 5 people are from IT, 5 people are from finance, let's say 10 people are from military, let's say 5 people are from operations, 5 are from oil and gas. So I want to create a very diverse classroom. So if I've already taken 5 IT guys, I will not take you. So that's why I would recommend apply to as many schools as possible and apply in the first rounds, because that gives you more chances of getting selected. And don't think that if you're not selected, there's something wrong with your profile or there's something wrong. It's just time and space. It's just, you will never come to it. Because let's say Amazon hires in our college every year in IT sector, and you are from Amazon and you want to get into Amazon based on your essays, whereas there's another guy who is, let's say, who is in Flipkart in tech sector, IT sector, and he wants to get into let's say a company, an IT company, let's say a very new company, and he doesn't come to this college, but everything else is same in the 2 candidates. I would prefer to have someone who is in Amazon and want to get into Amazon, and because Amazon comes and hires from this place. So it's just time and space and luck. So don't think too much that why I was not selected, and because this information, since you don't have people outside, the consultants and everybody or anybody else would like to take advantage of this information, because you don't know. So don't think it's just about time and space. So apply to as many colleges as possible and apply in the earliest round as possible to get selected in your dream school. So this is all about what I was. And one more last thing I want to speak about is GMAT. So how important is GMAT? So you see, what happens is GMAT is important because the rankings of business schools, there's a so if a company, let's say US News, comes to audit my business school, to publish a yearly ranking of business schools in US, what will they check? They will check how, let's say, how was your placements, how good are the professors, how good is the infrastructure, and they will also check what is the average GMAT score of your batch. So that's the reason why business school wants to have a higher average GMAT score, because what happens is if you have a higher average GMAT score, your ranking goes up in those US news rankings every year. So that's probably the reason why a school would prefer to have candidates with higher GMAT scores. Okay, so that's the only reason probably someone would think. Otherwise, mathematics and everything else is not that difficult in any business school that you need 750 GMAT for that. If you have like decent score, it's just an hygiene factor. If you cross a particular threshold, you're good enough. But generally what happens is, since let's say you have 750 GMAT score and you have applied to 10 schools, and the average GMAT score of all the schools are different. So everybody knows that with a 750 GMAT score, you will definitely cross the threshold for all the 10 schools. So you will definitely get offers from all these schools, let's say. And that's probably the reason why schools would want to give scholarships to such candidates, because they know that with a 750 or a 760 GMAT score, he would have definitely got 2 or 3 different offers already. So instead of him going somewhere else, let me just lure him by giving him some scholarship. So that's how it happens. If you have any other doubts related to how business schools things, or how do you want to prepare your essays or anything, please let me know in comments below, and I will try to answer those questions. Thank you.